Cool. Hey everyone, welcome to the first box truck camper conversion live stream. So we've just spent like the last hour getting it all set up. I'm Jordan. This is Antoinette behind the computer there, behind the deck with all the gear. She's going to be monitoring the chat and shouting out some questions while I'm working on inside the truck there. So I haven't had too much time to actually think about what I'm doing in this hour. The plan was to do some electrical cable stuff because the floor's all down now, and now we're onto the walls and the ceiling. So what I've done is just been running some electrical conduit here that I'm going to be passing the cables through. That'll just protect them, and then the wall will go up. So yeah, as I'm doing this, ask some questions, just say hey in the chat, and yeah, we'll just hang out and I'll get on with the build. Cool. And drink coffee. Oh, how does the stream sound? Like, this is the first time we're doing this, and it's a whole new setup, and so it's quite complicated, and we're expecting something to go wrong. So if you can't hear us, let us know.
We've got questions already.
Questions, sweet. Yeah, if the sound or the video sucks, let us know and we can tweak the settings. Oh, you probably can hear some wind noise. It's a bit windy, so I'm gonna go into the truck, and now it's probably echoey. Yeah, so let us know if the stream is not to your liking, and we'll try to tweak the settings. But it should be in 1080p, and the audio should be good because we're both wearing lav mics. And I want to give a huge shout out to Blackmagic Design. We're working in partnership with them to make this stream happen. They were really cool and sent out their new Atom Mini streaming deck, as you can see. And if you want to hit camera 2, down there, ooh, see that? Fancy. Camera changed angles. Production value through the roof. Thank you, Blackmagic. So, actually, hang on, just switch back to, I just need to give a bit more of a shout out to this thing. So this board down here, that's what Blackmagic sent us, and they let us borrow another camera. So yeah, we're going to be doing these streams every now and again throughout the build at different points in it. I couldn't live stream the whole thing because it might take 5 years, but we'll just do bits here and there. So, all right, I'm going to shut up and probably answer some questions.
Yeah, I've got some questions for you.
Okay, questions.
Okay. So JG has asked, what's the interior height? I can answer that. It's 2 meters.
It's less now because of the floor, and I'm actually starting to hit my head, which is unfortunate. Like, I'm 6'5", and that's like 197 centimeters, or 96 or something. And it's hard to get a vehicle that is high enough to allow me to stand up in it. So this, without anything in it, it was 2 meters high. There's a slight curve in the roof, so it's the highest in the middle. But now we've had to add the floor in, which we lost maybe an inch, and now the ceiling's going to take up some room as well. So I'm not going to be able to comfortably stand up, but that's just fine. I mean, most of the time in here we're probably going to be sitting down, sleeping, or at the kitchen cooking. So I'm used to working with the smaller world. The world isn't built for people my height, so it'll be fine. But yeah, I am now starting to hit my head on stuff, which isn't amazing. So yeah, the answer is 2 meters, but now it's like 190, 195 or something, and shrinking.
Which answers the question, what's your height?
There you go.
Lots of people are saying that the sound quality is really good.
Sweet.
Somebody says the video quality is a little low, but thinks maybe that's his phone. Somebody's asked,
well, with the video quality, make sure you've got your stream set to 1080p in the player. Click the gear and make it 1080p. We're streaming at 5,000 kilobits a second. I think that's what it is, which is recommended. So if anyone else is having an issue, we could change that, but it should be fairly high quality. But yeah, check your player.
Okay, so someone's asked, can you tell us a bit about the layout you want to have? Can't wait for the final result.
Yeah, cool. The layout. So I'll walk you through it. Most of the time, these back doors are going to be shut. This one on the left here, on your right, is going to be shut permanently, and we're going to have the kitchen, not the kitchen, the toilet shower block here. So that's going to take up, you know, they always take up an annoying amount of space, and you can't really have a toilet shower in a van that doesn't kind of intrude in the space. So we're just kind of accepting that. But it's going to be amazing. We've never had a vehicle that has a toilet and a shower in it, and it's going to be life-changing. So that's going to go here. It's going to be about, you know, this wide. It's going to be this corner, and the shower will be in the toilet unit. Then here we're going to have the kitchen. It's going to run most of this wall from here to there. So it's going to be, what's that, a couple of meters of bench top, which will have the sink in it and a little gas cooker. And the fridge will go underneath here, which I've started running the conduit for. So this is for the fridge wiring. And then on this side, we're going to have the couch and bed. So the couch will be able to slide out into a bed. So most of the time we can sit here, use it as a couch, have a couple of little desks that swivel around, probably one here and one over here for each of us. And then at night we can pack that away, and it'll slide out and it'll be a bed. Unfortunately, this box truck doesn't have the Luton cab where it goes over the truck's cab. So that would have been amazing if it did have like the part here where you could actually climb in and sleep. But yeah, we think this is the best way to make the most of the space. We thought about the design for quite a while. And here's where all the electronics are going to be. So there's going to be 2 batteries here, charge controller, all that good stuff, and all the conduit is running to here because that's where it all needs to end up, or where it begins from. And yeah, this will be open here, and we'll be able to open this door, and we want to have a little deck that folds out. We're not sure how we're going to do that yet, but yeah. That is the design. We're going to have a roof fan in here, some LED lights in the roof, and I'm keen to build a roof deck. I'm going to make that happen. So yeah, that is the design. I'm making great progress with this wiring.
Okay, so the Venman has asked for a shout out. Shout out to the Venman.
No shout outs. Keep your shout outs to yourself.
Okay. And thanks for the wonderful layout comment. Thank you for that. And that's all the questions for the moment, I think. Although remind me if I've missed one.
Cool. Yeah, you might, because my answers are so long, you might have to just repeat them.
Yep.
That's all good. But yeah, don't spam them. Just if we miss it, just ask it again. Okay, so I'm going to actually do some work here. The first thing I'm going to run is the positive and negative cables for the solar panels. So there's going to be a little junction box cut into the roof here that the solar panel cabling is going to run into. And I'm just going to feed the positive cable through. Whoa, it worked. There we go. Awesome. Except now my bracket isn't holding properly. So the great thing about live streaming is you get to see all the things that don't work and all the times that I mess up. There's no editing. Amazing. Cool. Oh yeah, and I still need to film the actual video. This is the most ridiculous setup ever for filming a van build. 2 cameras, another camera here. It's going to be well documented. What am I doing? I need the tape.
Okay,
So
not wanting to distract you, but...
distract me, it's fine.
So Jessica asked, are you going to do solar panels? But asked that just as you were talking about cable for the solar panels.
Yep. Yeah, so the solar we're doing, so this is 16 mil cable, which will allow 30 amps to come through. So we're going to have, what was it, like 260 watts of panels on the roof. It's not a huge array, but it'll be enough for what we need. We've already got the solar panels, we've got 2 of them. And so there'll be 3 in total, wired in parallel, and charging these batteries.
Cool. So Caleb asked what plumbing you'll use.
Yeah, so the plumbing. Because I have to think about that now as well. Most of it, actually all of it is going to be run not inside the walls. It's going to be run, because the shower unit will have its own frame that I can run the pipes through. And I like the idea of doing that in case there's a leak. I don't want to have to tear the wall down. So easy access, the piping will be on the outside but still hidden. At this stage we're planning to do have hot water for the shower and maybe for the tap as well. Probably makes sense if we could do it for the shower, just do it for the tap. And yeah, have a fresh water tank underneath that is powered by a 12-volt pump, comes out the tap, and is also the cold water for the shower. And is that all? I think so. But yeah, I've never done a water system that's more complicated like that. In the van video of Wanda, that was just a super basic setup with a hand pump, which is fine, but I don't love the hand pumps because you've got to pump it while you're kind of holding a dish to rinse it. So, and I also like the challenge of trying to figure out a water system. So yeah, we're planning at this stage to have like a pressurized 12-volt powered water system. Not sure how we're going to heat the hot water yet. Probably just with a gas unit that'll go on the outside, or there's some other cool units that I've seen around that I haven't done much research into yet that might also be a good option. Where's everyone watching from? Let us know where you are in the chat. It's probably not the best time to be streaming for most of the world, but we will try to mix it up at different time zones so more people can watch. But these streams will also be archived on the channel, so you can just go back and watch them afterwards.
Cool. So someone, where was it? Deb's asked, are you going to do some sort of vent for your wet bath?
Yep. We're thinking at the moment to just do a little 12-volt wall vent that'll just go on the side here. I'd rather not do a roof vent if we can help it, because then that just leaves more space for solar panels and the roof deck, the most important thing. So I've seen little just wall fans, just something super basic, but again, not sure. But yeah, it's super important to ventilate a space like that, because it's also one of the reasons that I wanted to do a completely closed-in wet area, as opposed to something that is just kind of maybe a shower curtain with an area that's just set aside as a wet area, because then you're creating moist air in the entire van, and it's more work to vent that out. So it'll be just an enclosed wet area with a small fan in the side, but not sure which one yet. But I've factored that in, and this is all the toilet cable will be running through this. Speaking of toilets, we also, my cable's hanging out. That's not very professional. Now you guys know I'm wearing a mic. We're going to be using at this stage we're planning to use a Nature's Head composting toilet, which also requires 12-volt power, because there's a little fan in it that vents to the outside as well. That's the only power that it uses, just that tiny fan. And yeah, super simple setup that'll be a much better option than a chemical toilet, in my opinion. There we go. Did it. All right, now we can sit back and relax. Where are people tuning in from?
So we've got people, lots of folks from the States.
Cool. I thought you'd all be asleep.
Yeah, that's it.
Either night hours. Is it 4 o'clock in the morning there?
I think it's like 8 or so for most people, so it's not too early really, is it? So we've got people in San Francisco, Massachusetts, Texas, Florida, and we've got someone in Milan, Italy,
Cool.
Oklahoma, San Francisco. We've also got Japan, then we're back in Illinois, Colorado, lots from the States. Oh, and there's someone from Brighton in the UK.
Cool. That's awesome.
Now, I did have a question. Are you ever going to go on a trip with the truck? Yes, we are.
Yeah, we might go on some trips with it before it's finished, because it's going to take a while for this to be 100% complete. The idea was to have this finished in a few months for this new filming trip that we were doing up to the North Island. But now with the coronavirus, that's a bit all up in the air when that's going to happen. So I guess the good news is that it leaves more time to do the conversion before heading away. But it would be cool to do some trips, without everything being finished, because it'll be a while till it's at that stage. But we'll be able to get it to a place where it's still comfortable to go away in for a few nights.
So we've got quite a few people who are in lockdown, or obviously self-isolating. So yeah, just a shout out to all you guys who are stuck at home in this super difficult time. We're really lucky because we work from home, so we're pretty used to being isolated, and obviously we live pretty rurally. So we're also choosing to self-isolate at the moment.
We've been self-isolating for the last 5 years.
But yeah, really just feeling for all you guys who are feeling a bit stuck at home at the moment. It's a difficult time, eh? Jessica asked, are you going to have pets with you when we travel, I guess? And we wish.
I hope so, right?
Aww.
We do have a cat.
She would hate it. She
would probably hate it, yeah. But she loves adventuring. But she is also terrified of everything. Yeah. But I would love to... Oh, speaking of cats in vans, the next Home on the Road episode features a guy who does travel with his cat, and it's awesome. There's some great footage I got in there of the cat sitting on the bed while he's driving, and yeah, it's a nice story. So it would be cool to do that. I would love to take Luna with us, but yeah, she'll probably stay at home. So I'm not bored and looking at my phone. I've got my cable measurements and everything written on here. So
someone's asked, Henrik has asked, will you use lithium ion cells or a standard lead acid?
Yeah, so for the batteries, I would love to be using lithium ion, because from what I've heard, they're better in every way to lead acid. But we've already got 2 lead acid batteries that we've bought and have hardly used. So we are just going to use those. And also that lithium is much more expensive than an AGM battery, which is what we've got. So we're just going to put in 2 130 watt amp hour deep cycle batteries. They'll go here, and that'll be enough. It's not a huge setup, but it'll be fine. But yeah, if we had the money and we didn't already have these batteries, then yeah, I'd probably go with lithium. But yeah, you definitely pay for the lighter weight and everything that's good about lithium. I'm just going to check your camera. Is it still? You're a bit in the shade now.
Okay.
Yeah, Antoinette's not in the best spot for this.
That's okay.
How's that? Cool. Alright, let's actually wire something. No, do more cabling. So what's that? 8 gauge, not using that, not using that. I don't know why. Normally the cable size is written on the cable so you know what it is. But now I've got 3 white cables and I can't remember what the sizes are I bought. One is, I think one's 2 mil, one's 4 mil. And what are you? You must be 2 mil. So toilet fan, toilet light, shower fan, ceiling LEDs.
Deb says the video has gotten very blurry, but maybe that's just me. So let us know if that's the same for other people as well.
Yeah, it might be depending on your connection. YouTube will automatically drop the quality of the stream, but hopefully it's not on our end. But let us know. How many people are watching?
Oh, 27.
Ah, cool. That's awesome. So, what am I doing? LED strip is that one. Okay, so this will be 1 mil, this will be 2 mil. Okay, got it sorted. But be better if it was written on the bloody cable. So the first one I'm going to wire, well not wire, but attempt to pass through this conduit is just the tiny cable for the LED strip. We've had these strips of LED that you click together. We've had that sitting in the shed for like 4 years, and now we're finally going to be able to use it just to have it above the kitchen there. So that's what this pipe is going to be. And I'm not sure how easy this is going to be to push through. Normally you attach like a tongue to this to push it through more easily. You can also spray WD-40 on it as well, which makes it a bit easier to push through, but we'll see how we go. But I do need to cut this a bit shorter.
Jord, Caleb's asked, was this a box truck or a Uhaul?
Was it a box truck or a Uhaul? I'm just thinking what that. Yeah, well, we don't really call them U-Hauls. They're like a moving truck, right? That's what a U-Haul is.
So.
U-Haul's a company in America. Yeah, moving company. So I guess, was it a moving truck or a box truck? I think it was a box truck. Maybe even, I think it's had like a couple of owners before us who have maybe started the conversion on it, because it might have at one stage have had canvas sides and someone has put the aluminium siding onto it and actually made it into a solid box. Because you can see there's some, like, it looks like spots where you would put, you would feed the cable through for the canvas if it was just a canvas sided one. So yeah, not really sure about its original history, but yeah, it was probably just maybe just, yeah, a delivery truck or something. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get the cable over there. I reckon it's going to get stuck at some point. This corner's not too bad, but it could get stuck there. See how we go. So the reason I'm putting it in this conduit is that it just makes it safer. It already, like this twin core stuff already has, you know, a protective insulation around it, but putting it into conduit just protects it from ever rubbing through, and like if the wire got exposed to, you know, the positive and negative got exposed to each other, or it got exposed to some part of the chassis, it could start a fire. So it's just safer to put it through conduit because, yeah, it just makes it more secure. And also, if we ever need to change the wiring, or if something is wrong, we can pull it back through this later on. Whereas if this was just kind of nailed into the wall, we'd never get it out without taking the wall down. But we can always push or pull cable back through with this method. Well, here we go, we're at the corner. Is it going to work? Seems to be working. And it's getting stuck. Go. I wonder if it'd be easier to push it through from the other way, actually. Because then I'm not pushing it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. So this is the parts you don't see when you're watching the video, because I would just edit that out. I'm actually not even, I should get some shots for the video. I might need to take this off the wall. I've just made these little brackets. You can buy these U brackets that hold this conduit in, but they come individually wrapped in plastic, and we already had this sheet of aluminium that I bought for patching the floor, so I've just cut out little strips and kind of made my own. Oh, look at that. Oh, I can hear it, it's over here. It's working. Here we go. Don't know where it is at the moment. How many of you guys watching are actually thinking of converting a van yourself, or actually in the process of it?
While we wait for answers to that question, Jessica's asked, what made you choose that specific truck?
This specific truck? Well, we weren't actually, you know, we were open to buying a van or a truck. To be honest, we'd probably rather have bought a van. That's just easier in a few respects. And generally, we thought they were cheaper. But there's actually a lot of benefits of a truck, and the main one is to get something that has this height and has this size. We needed to spend more to get it in a van. The downside is to owning a truck is that it's, well, here in New Zealand, it's a different kind of roadworthy warranting process. Truck parts are more expensive, it's heavier, so it's more to run. So there's costs to owning a truck, but I think we've made the right choice getting this as opposed to a van. Like having this much space, if we had a van that was only 3 meters long, it would feel so much smaller than this, because of the walls going out like that. Being able to stand, it ended up being like a great price for us, and the fact that it had already been started being converted, like not having to put the windows or the door in, I'm pretty pleased with. So I think we got a good price, and yeah, it met a lot of our requirements as well. And it being a diesel, we wanted a diesel because we want to convert it to run on waste veggie oil. So yeah, we like our truck. I don't know where
We also really liked the kind of the smallness of it. The smallness of it, like it's a truck, but it's so little, and it's quite maneuverable. Like it's quite easy to get around. It's easy to drive. It doesn't feel like a truck, but it's and having the squareness of it is going to be much easier to work on. So yeah, it's good in lots and lots of ways.
Yeah, like if there was a bigger truck, if there was a 5 meter long truck for the same price, I don't know if we would have bought it because it would have felt like you're driving something massive on the road. You know, we can park this in a normal spot. It's pretty nice. Something I don't like about it is that you can't see at the back when you're reversing. It's harder to kind of maneuver than a van. I mean, the big vans as well need reversing cameras and stuff, and they're difficult too, but that's, one thing is that it's hard to reverse. So the first thing I did was put a reversing camera in. But yeah, the size of it's kind of perfect for us at the moment. If we were living this full time, we would definitely go something bigger, and it would be worth getting something that was like 5 meters long, just to have that extra space. But because it's not a permanent thing for us, this is ideal, really. I think I've pushed this cable into a black hole because it's not appearing.
So Peter Fitzgerald's come on, and he's
Hey, Peter.
He's an electrician and installs solar.
Oh shit! What am I doing wrong, Peter?
Off-grid and grid-tied. He says if your cable...
Hey, there we go, it came through.
Oh, okay, good. He says if your cable is TPS, it needs to go through conduit because if your installation is polystyrene, it eats the plastic outer sheath on your cable.
Yes, that is a very good point. And the person before us, I've noticed... Oh no, that wasn't electrical cabling, that was... No, I did notice that somewhere. Even with the 12 volts stuff, what do you say, TPS, is that single phase? I'm not sure what TPS stands for. But yeah, that's a very good point that I forgot to mention, is that because the cables can get warm when electricity is flowing through it, it can actually melt the polystyrene. So to create a barrier between them, running it through conduit is how you do that. And also, this is only 12 volt wiring. If you were doing 240 volt, then it would be, without a question, you would put it through conduit anyway. Yeah, but very good point. Thank you, Peter. Feel free to chime in if I'm doing something terribly wrong.
Disastrous.
Yeah.
Joe says, hello, your videos are creative. You have some good home conversions.
Thank you.
And the Venman asks, how do you know how to do all of this?
YouTube. I don't really know how to do anything. I've got some basic skills, just like over the course of my life building different things, and I enjoy doing it as well, so it makes it easy to learn, but really I don't know anything until I just look up how to do it. Like, I know a bit of the 12 volt stuff because I did it in my previous van, Wanda, but to do that I just did a ton of research, YouTube, reading articles, just copying what other people were doing, but double checking it, just not blindly following someone else's design. But yeah, it's just a matter of like, okay, what's the next step? Okay, I don't know how to do this, I'm just going to look up how to do it. I mean, it's how I learned to make films as well. Like, I didn't go to film school, I just looked it up on YouTube and taught myself and got a cheap camera and worked it out. And each time you do something, you don't do it amazingly, but you learn what you want to do better the next time. So I remember when I finished the last van, Wanda, I was like, oh, I could convert another one, like straight away, because it was like, I enjoyed the process, but also it was like, oh, I could do this differently this time. So yeah, it's a fun process to learn that way, just by doing. That's what works for me anyway, rather than just kind of, I don't know, taking a course in how to do it, which works for some people, but basically, YouTube has all the answers you need. Asterisk, for the most part. But also just always ask someone as well. If you don't know how to wire stuff, don't just blindly do it, because you can burn your van down. And I see photos all the time on Facebook of people who, you know, they've got a GoFundMe because their van's burnt down, which could be, you know, a gas leak or something, which you should always get done professionally anyway, I think. But even, you know, simple 12-volt wiring, if it's done wrong, can start a fire and burn your van down. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have the confidence in learning it, get someone to do it. There's no harm in that. Or just get someone to check over it as well. Wire it up yourself, have a go, and just, you know, phone up an electrician and say, can you check over this? Or a friend or something. Yeah, that was a long answer. Okay, we've made it.
So
Yes.
Mitchell says TPS is toilet paper supplies, but Peter says it's plastic. It's tough plastic sheath.
Ah, okay. Tough plastic sheath. Cool.
And Jessica says, I'm looking into vans for me and my 2 dogs. Cool, Jessica. I don't need much room.
Are they Great Danes?
Are they Great Danes? I don't need much room, so presumably not. But I think my dogs would like more room. That's probably right. I'm stuck between an RV and an old work van.
Yeah, it's a hard one with animals because it basically you kind of have to design your whole van around them. You know, you see a lot of people traveling with their pets and they love it, like especially dogs. I mean, you probably have to get the right cat, like this guy in the next film does, to want to travel. But dogs seem pretty happy just to, yeah, travel and chill out and run around. I mean, yeah, you see some tiny vans. People like you got 2 dogs. A lot of the time, I've seen people just with 1 dog, but they have a tiny van. So if something like this, I guess, depending on the size of the dog, could be fine. I guess it depends on like your level of comfort. If you need 2 dog beds, maybe you have to factor that in. Or if they're fine to sleep on the bed, then that's cool as well. So
There's a pit bull and a yellow lab beagle.
ooh.
Yellow lab beagle mix.
Okay, so kind of medium-sized dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things to weigh up, but I would probably go bigger. Like, you don't want to go too small, go to all this effort and designing it and thinking it'll be fine, and then getting on the road and thinking, shit, I should have got something bigger because, you know, the dogs are just everywhere and destroying everything. But what I would do probably is actually just rent a van, rent an RV and rent a Sprinter or something, and go away for a weekend with your dogs and see what it's like to travel with them, because you might be fine just the dogs in a small space, but something bigger might be more worthwhile. But then, yeah, more expensive to run as well. So there's always costs, but definitely spend a few $100 just, you know, renting a couple of vans and trying it out. It could save you thousands if you buy the wrong thing in the long run.
Mitchell asks, are you as skinny and tall as you look on screen? He's just really jealous. Yes, he's as skinny and tall as he looks on screen.
The camera does not lie.
The camera
It doesn't add 5 pounds or whatever it does.
definitely
It doesn't
not
work for me.
Enrique, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, asks, what's your process for these builds and what's your budget for this project?
So our process is how did it start, I guess? It was, we thought about what we wanted this vehicle for, which was short trips of being on the road for a month or 2 at a time. Has something happened? What's up?
I don't know, I've done something.
Did the stream cut out?
Don't know. Possibly, yes.
Does it say live in the corner still?
It's gone altogether.
What?
I don't know what I did. I was typing and it just disappeared. I was just typing in there.
Oh, apparently.
we're still live.
Yeah, I don't know. If you guys can hear us, we're experiencing technical difficulties, and we will cut to commercial. Do, 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 do. How do I get back into it? Live now. Do we just say go live?
Mm.
Here we go. Here we go. We're back. Stream is fine. The stream is fine.
Okay,
The stream is
sorry
fine.
about that,
Phew.
folks. I was trying to write a reply, it all went to pack. Okay.
All good. We're back. Back from commercial. Sponsored by Black Magic Design.
I will try not to do that again.
I was talking about the process, wasn't I? So, yeah, we thought about what vehicle we needed to travel for a month or two at a time. And then we had a budget of about, well, we paid 11,000 for this, New Zealand dollars, which is a good, we feel is a good price. We were able to get the price down a little bit, but it had a few features like the door and stuff already in it, which made it worth that amount. So that was about our budget. If we wanted to get a Sprinter, we probably would have to pay 20. So we're happy with our 11. And then we just sat down and what did we do? Just brainstorm like everything we needed to be inside it.
We sat down with pen and paper and drew up a couple of designs, talked about everything we want. Because we've spent quite a bit of time in vans and other people's...
Change your angle.
Oh, sorry. Because we've spent a bit of time in our vans and other people's vans, we've got a pretty good idea of what doesn't work for us. Like George was saying earlier, it's really important to us to have, because we're often on the road for long stretches for work, so we're often turning up at someone's place to do a shoot, and we're kind of in their space, in their personal space for 2 or 3 days at a time. So it's really important for us to have somewhere to remove ourselves to, if so that we're not too much in their space, and also like it just makes it will make a really big difference to have a toilet and shower rather than having to use their home while we're also filming in it. Like it's going to be really cool to create that space. So that was quite a big thing for us to. Obviously having a toilet and shower adds quite a lot of expense and a whole lot more complexity around like everything that's going on at the moment. So yeah, that was a big part of the process, was making that decision, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, you basically start with what am I doing this for, and then design everything around that. So for us, it was basically like probably traveling for work was the main thing, but also just going around trips as well. So that dictated the design for us. And then we just sat down, drew it on paper. I don't know how to do CAD or SketchUp or anything like that, and I couldn't be bothered learning, so we just drew it on paper, and that's working fine. And then just kind of like working it out as we go as well. Like you don't have to have everything designed down to the T before you do it. You can kind of make it up as you go, because things will change. Like as we're doing this, things are changing. Like we were planning to have the kitchen, we're going to have an exhaust fan in the roof, and we're going to have that over the kitchen here, which makes sense because you want to get rid of the fumes and stuff from cooking and the moisture. But that would require another cable being run here, quite a thick cable, cutting another hole in the roof, and there's already this kind of skylight here. So we just decided we'll just put it here instead. So we'll be able to crack the window a little bit, get some cross ventilation, and that'll be fine. So yeah, you can change the design as you go, but you do want to have enough of a design to not make expensive mistakes down the road and have something to work towards, but you can kind of tweak it as you go as well. All right, we've got 3 cables in. What's next? So that was the LED strip, then we've got 12-volt fan, toilet, all that good stuff, which is, must be my 4mm cable.
Henrik asks, why choose vehicle conversion over an RV? Because we want everything just the way we want it.
Yeah, like, I mean, so yeah, as opposed, like you can just buy an RV, but by doing it yourself, you get it exactly how you want it to be. You can make it look how you want, make it work how you need to, and you can really make a home out of it and make it feel comfortable. For me, I don't like RVs because I don't know, they kind of, everything's like plastic and grey, and, or some of them are. There's some cool old RVs, but yeah, I just think doing it from scratch, you can make it how you want, make it beautiful, and it's fun. I love converting them and making the videos. So that's why I would do it. Like if we didn't have like the capability to convert it ourselves and we had the money, then we'd probably just buy something bought. But I think it's just way better to do it yourself. So much fun.
He's saying he means a hollow RV.
Hollow RV. Ah, okay. Yeah, you could go for that. I haven't seen.
I've never seen one.
Well, I think they're much bigger in America. Like,
right.
Well, the thing is, like, the vehicle market in countries varies a lot. Like, a van here, like a Toyota Hiace, is super common and isn't that expensive. But in the States, a Hiace it's more of a rare thing, just because of manufacturing and stuff. Or like VW vans, they're so expensive here. Like the old VWs, like Westphalias and stuff. They're so expensive here. You could pay $30,000 for one. Or in the States, because there's so many of them, there's more options, and you can get older ones as well that aren't like pristine. There's more of an option, and I guess that's similar with RVs. Like there's more of a market. There's more older ones that you can go for, but here it's not the case. But yeah, I think that would be a good option, really. If, like a hollow RV, that could be pretty cool, especially if it's. Yeah, I guess the thing would be, like if you were buying an old caravan, to make sure that the structure itself is sound. Like if you're buying something that's older, something that can happen in caravans is that the it's normally like, yeah, really thin studs in the walls. They can rot super easy. Old caravans seem to always leak. So like, you want like a good starting point. No rust, or like minimal rust, things like that. I would check out before getting an RV. But yeah, I think that would be a cool option. It's basically like getting a box truck, but maybe a bit simpler in some ways. Maybe less expensive as well, depending on what vehicle, like the engine and stuff that is the base of it.
The Venman asks if we plan to sell the truck when we're done. Oh.
What will you pay for it? No, we won't be selling it for a while. Yeah, we'll see how we go, and if this is perfect for us, then we'll just keep it for who knows how long, years to come. But I think probably no matter what, it's going to be a travel vehicle for the next maybe 3 years or something.
Yeah.
And then down the line, if we need something bigger, or if we just want a van as opposed to a truck, I don't know. If something changes, yeah, we can always sell it and get another one. But yeah, I'm thinking about this as well. Like after this is done, it's like I don't want to wait 3 years again to convert something else. Like I want to keep making more videos. So like I don't know, there could be scope for keeping this one, but I don't know, converting some others just to sell, like smaller vans and doing some interesting designs. I don't know.
Yeah, we're definitely doing this as though we're going to keep it. Like we've thought about the design and thought about the use. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm making the same mistake. I'm glad you cut away. That's embarrassing.
Don't. You ready? Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely designing it so that so that we'll want to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah, because if we were we wouldn't be spending what we are on it if we were just doing it to sell. Like there's some things that we're spending extra on because it's important to us and we really want, you know, the quality and things. So like if we were just doing this to sell, we might not put, you know, a new composting toilet in it because that's going to be a big expense. We might do you know, I probably wouldn't bother doing a complicated electrical system. Not this isn't very complicated, but I'd probably simplify the electrical system as well. So we are doing it as best quality as we can because we are intending on keeping it. And there we go, yeah, I made it. Woohoo! Yeah, I made the same mistake of pushing it through the other end instead of this end again. But here we go, and it's through. I don't know why I've got so much extra cable. What's that for? So this is going to be the toilet fan. So the toilet fan's going to go down there. It's going to be the toilet light up above, the shower fan, and the ceiling LEDs. Okay, so how much extra of this have I got? It's probably double that. Yeah, cool. All right.
Ready for another?
Yeah. How much? Okay, so we're going to be ending the stream at 3, so we're just doing an hour at this time. So yeah, get any last questions in that you guys have, and we'll stream for another 5 or so minutes. Where's my tape? Can I ask you guys a question? Can you see my tape?
It's just in front of. Oh, is that not it? Just there on the.
Where? Yes.
Henrik asks, are you putting the electrical system under the insulation?
No, I'm putting it over the insulation because I don't know if you can see it so well, but this white stuff on the walls is polystyrene that's been the previous owner's already cut out and has put snugly in the wall. So I'm running it over the top of that because there's no space behind it to run any cable. Like a benefit of a van would be that there's some cavities in the walls that you can run cabling through and just kind of hide it amongst the insulation. But with this, it's like the outside wall, polystyrene, and there's no space to kind of hide it within there. I'd like to hide it more in there, but yeah, it's not going to be possible here. So I'm running the conduit over the top of the polystyrene. Like that. So, and then what's going to happen is we'll put some timber studs on here, which will pack it out a little bit, and then we're going to just put plywood on the walls as well. So this will be sitting between the plywood. This will be sitting between the vapor barrier and the insulation. I'm just taping these ends up so that the cable doesn't get pulled through.
Ashley says, I build houses for a living, so this is interesting.
Ooh. There's all these experts. Can I?
Feel free to comment.
Yeah, what am I doing wrong?
Hi, California Golden Bear. Yeah, we do have one coronavirus case in Christchurch, I think just in the last couple of days, and I haven't seen the results for today, but there's another 8 cases in New Zealand today, so very possibly here in Christchurch as well. We're 50 minutes out of Christchurch, so we're planning on staying out of town for a bit.
Remember to wash your hands, everybody. Cool. So there's a bit more cabling to run, and I have to order some more cable because the shop I went to didn't have the right size. So I'm going to be passing through. I've got to remember my design for this because the ceiling LEDs need to be wired in as well. So I'm going to cut this cable and feed. I probably should have fed that both through at the same time, but I'll have two of these running through this conduit and down the other side. But yeah, I think we'll just leave it there for today. Some kind of good progress. Got the wiring started. And unless there are any last questions, we might wrap up the stream now because it is 3 o'clock. So yeah, I just wanted to give another shout out to Blackmagic, who, can we cut to camera 2? Boop. Who down here have been awesome enough to reach out and loan us this Atom Mini switcher board, which allows us to do these fancy camera angles, and we've they also lent us another pocket 4K camera and a lens, which is very cool. So we can do these 2 camera setups. Yeah, it feels like an awesome collaboration because I was already using a pocket 4K camera, and I loved it. And when they reached out, we were thinking about doing live streams of the build, so it was like, yes, awesome, let's do this. So yeah, thank you again, Blackmagic. If there are any final questions?
The Venman asks, will we have more live streams? Yes.
Yeah, we'll have more live streams. Not sure how often we'll do them. We'll have a think about this, but maybe once a week. We'll see how we go. But be sure to subscribe on YouTube because you'll get a notification when the streams are happening, and we'll try to plan it more in advance than kind of the morning of. Put the stream link out there. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. Oh, I didn't shout out Instagram. Well, next time. To be notified when we're doing more streams. And yeah, like I said earlier, we'll try to do it at different time zones as well, so people from all over the world can watch. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. It's been fun. I really enjoyed this, and thank you for all the questions and the support for the videos and kind of the excitement build. It's awesome to be sharing the journey with you all.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Awesome questions, and thanks for all the lovely positive comments that I didn't get to always respond to, but really appreciate them.
And like I said earlier, this stream will be archived up on the channel, so if you only tuned in halfway, you can go back and watch the beginning. You can also, I'm pretty sure you can also keep commenting and asking questions on there. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. That was fun. We'll do it again soon, and we'll see you in the next stream. Bye, everybody.